Welcome to the first. You have a story. If you look back on your life, you've done things for the first time that no one in your family, in your town, in the country has done. This is Dr. Sandi. You have unknowingly paved the way for others without knowing it or even acknowledging it. This is where you tell your story so that those who come after you can walk in your footsteps to build their own firsts. Hey everybody, it's my great pleasure today to introduce you to Arvin Cielo. Arvin worked with me as an employee of a previous company. He's an expert in technology, and Arvin was instrumental in helping me to launch my course, How to Form an Advisory Board, in 3 months. This should have taken 6 to 9 months. Now I introduce Arvin as the head of his company, Aide Solutions, where he now places expert virtual assistants to help other business owners. At the young age of 25, Arvin has laid a foundation for his family by being the first to graduate from college, pass his bar exam, he's become an entrepreneur, he purchased a home, and he also has a farm. Arvin knows he has to be the breadwinner of his family and appreciates that his family inspires him. Let's listen to his story. Hey, Arvin.
Hey, Sandy.
Welcome to the Sandi Webster podcast.
Thank you so much. It's my honor to be here. I'm so happy that you invited me.
Well, you should be familiar because you edit all my podcasts.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, it's the feeling of just editing the podcast, just listening to your guests. It's like, okay, I learned a lot from your guests, but it's different when you're the one who's been interviewed by Sandi Webster.
No, it's not. It's just a conversation. I don't think I make it too tough for anyone. This is just a conversation. So we'll just talk like we normally talk.
Yeah.
And everyone, Arvin works with me. Arvin's the head of Aide Solutions. He's based in the Philippines, and he's done amazing stuff with my course. And I just I've been following Arvin and been listening to how well he's been improving and wanted to capture all his firsts. Because he's had quite a lot. You've had a busy year.
Such a busy year, Coach.
All right. So, well, first tell me a little bit about yourself and about Aide Solutions.
I am Arvin Cielo. People call me Arvin Cielo. And actually graduated a Bachelor of Technical Teacher Education, major in computer technology. It's like 2 programs, 2 courses in 1 program. So I'm also a licensed teacher, and I am also authorized to work in this industry, just like what I'm working right now. And I founded Aide Solutions, and then I started the Aide Solutions earlier this year, which is also through the help of Coach Sandi Webster, which is who really inspires me the most this year. And everything is ready for the Aide Solutions, and we are so excited. I built a team of professional virtual assistants who are expert and skilled of digital marketing and other digital marketing strategy and services. And yes, and we are so ready to connect with the founders and entrepreneurs around the globe.
And so tell a little bit about what you do for founders.
Yeah. So actually we connect founders. There are lots of founders in the world who runs a business, but they don't know how to turn it into digital, which is we live right now. Everything is digital, and all business turns into digital. So Cloud is created to help the founders to make their businesses in digital, and to build a system or a strategy where they could get clients or customers on a greater scale, and not just in a specific place, but also since internet is worldwide. So we're opening a lot of doors in the internet, and through the help of built-in tools and other technology that can make the business grow, and which is the founders' expectation and goals to achieve.
That's amazing because when we worked together, you definitely were helping me as a founder. And I have to say that was instrumental. Your help was instrumental in launching my course, How to Form an Advisory Board. I could not have done it without you at all. I don't understand that side of the business. Not that I don't understand it, I don't have the skill. I know what I need, but I don't have the skill to execute the things that I need done. So it's a lot easier for me to get an expert to do that, and that you are.
Right.
So Arvin, what is it the thing that you're the first at doing? Tell me a little bit about your first. I'm sure you had a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot, coach, and I'm so proud to share it with you and to all the people. My first is in the family. I'm the first child to graduate in college. So I graduated with my degree, and I'm also a graduate of lots of certificates that I earned in college. And I'm also in the family who crowned as, and in my city, in my school, we have this pageants that we celebrate every year. So it's like I'm the Mister of the University, you know,
Oh,
the title. Yeah, I have those, which is I'm first, and then my other siblings are inspired to become a role model. That's why they are joined also, and they did the same, just like
oh,
um
nice.
yes. And I'm also the first in the family to to create a business, to create a company, which is now running. And I'm also the first in the family to get a house, to own properties, and I'm the first one in the family to become the breadwinner of the three siblings.
And how old are you, Arvin?
I'm now 25 years old, Coach
So
Sandy.
at 25 years old, does this feel like a burden to you? How does this feel? That the responsibility, I mean, that's a lot of responsibilities to have that first. So how does this feel to you? And what do you do to keep inspiring yourself?
Mhm. So actually, honestly, sometimes there are times when I'm thinking about that why I'm doing it. Since I'm not the first child in the family, I'm not supposed to take care of them. And since I'm so young, I have my old youth to enjoy. But then I realized something that since I'm the first who graduated in the family, and why not to take charge of being as a breadwinner and to pay back to your parents because they did so many things in the past
Mm,
that to make me graduate, to pay the school and to support me for my everyday
that is
expenses.
awesome.
Mhm.
That
And
is
then
awesome.
and actually, to be honest, when I graduated, my siblings are really inspired to study hard, to and to do more things that to and even my sister, she told me when I graduated, she saw my graduation picture on my wall, and she saw also on the social media, especially on my Facebook, lots of people greeted me, for my success in the college because actually my course is not that easy. You have to. I actually took my course 5 years before I graduated, and my sister who was not a graduate yet, she told me that, Arvin, I'm so inspired by you. I want to finish my studies also. And also my little brother, he told me that, bro, I want to be like you, so I'm gonna become a policeman someday. I want to be a cop, and all of us together we will become professional. Thank you for doing it first, and we will follow you.
Oh my goodness, that is so great. When I was 25, I did quite a bit too. As you were talking, I also did, the buying a house at a very early age, and a lot of the same things you're saying. Even though I have an older sibling, I was the first to actually graduate from college. And what pushes you? What keeps you going, Arvin, at such a young age? And do you feel like you're giving up your life to do this?
Mhm. Yeah, there are actually times that when I'm down, I'm like, why I'm doing this. There are also moments that I get jealous from other people, like they're enjoying their life and they're like enjoying their what they have earned. But we have a different story. On my side, I have to take care of my family, and they actually inspire me the most. That's why I'm not settling for salary where you are paid minimum and you can only through your family through your monthly salary, and you don't have
Yes.
enough, yeah, you don't have enough to save for yourself. So
And you don't have control over if somebody lets you go or not, like fire you. And then
correct.
all of a sudden you have no money.
Yes, yeah, that's correct. So that actually inspired me to think of what else should I'm capable of doing, and what should I do to make it, to create money, to make money for a living, and that's how the Cloud Aide Solutions, made. My family inspires me, and then I just pray to the Lord, God help me, and now we have Cloud Aid Solutions.
No, congratulations. I know as a business owner, it takes a lot to just start up a business and to get it going and to get your first client, and to make it something that is income producing for you. It
Right.
takes a little time, but it gets there sooner or later.
Yes.
So what are some of the joys of being the first, Arvin? You spoke to some of them of your, being able to inspire your siblings.
Yes. The joy of being the first is actually first. You make yourself proud. There are times that you pressure yourself that if I feel like I'm running out of time, even though I'm
You're
still young.
25.
Yeah, I feel like I'm running out of time, like because I don't know what the future holds, and for the coming 3 years, 2 years, if I'm able to still to support my family, if I'm able to live here on this in this world, so I always feel like I'm running out of time. But when I do stuff, I actually challenge myself to while because when I feel I'm running out of time, that the time that I'm also challenging myself to do more. So I have to accomplish this year. I create my checklist for this year, and I keep my yeah, I always put my time and effort to that checklist to achieve all of that within the year, and then and now I have lots of first time and a lot of first in my life and to the family and to my friends, and and it is also always visible because I work hard in silence, and I always make my success becomes the noise, and then my friends will notice like, oh, congratulations, Arvin, and they're like, it's such a big thing for me because so inspire them actually. So like that's a good idea. I will make that too, or I will be like you, or hearing those words and being told you're appreciated. It just it's priceless, and especially when it comes to your family, you always want to make proud of you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It is a good feeling when someone says, I see that you've done it and I'd like to know how to do that. I try never to take the perspective of, I'm not going to help that person because they might, be better than me. I don't care if you become better than me because that meant you work really, really hard if you become better than me. So I don't mind helping people who want to do the same thing that I'm doing because we all have our own audiences, right?
Right.
They say you have your own tribe. So the people, if I help you to start a business, the people you're going to connect to is very different than the people I'm going to connect to. So there's so much in the world we can share information and share everything and not necessarily compete with each other.
Right.
So I'm all for that, Arvin. So what are some of the pitfalls? What are some of the bad things that you think come out of being the first?
Sometimes it's not easy to achieve a lot of things, especially if this is your first, and when your people are looking up to you, and they're like, we cannot avoid people who who got jealous, or secretly hates you, and they're like doubters, like they're saying stuff that you're not gonna make it. For example, I'm
Don't
also the
listen to that. Don't listen to the negative stuff.
yeah, and I remember before, coach, I actually the first in the family to pass the board exam, and then people are congratulating me, and my family congratulating me, my brothers and sister, my friends are congratulating me, but there are people who will tell not good, like you just passed because you're just lucky on that day, or sometimes yeah, sometimes people also will tell me that you're not gonna pass, you're gonna take it next time, but right now you're not gonna pass the board exam.
What is the board exam? Does the board exam do?
So the board exam is actually for licensure for teachers. So this is also give us a license to teach and to work in the
Yes.
industry that we are right now.
We have the same thing here to get certified. So
Yes.
when you hear all those naysayers, those people who are against you, what do you do? How do you react to that?
I don't react verbally. I'm just gonna when I hear something like that, I'm just gonna smile, and then I'm back in my head. I'm like wait until I make it.
Watch my dust. See my
Yes.
dust. Oh, that's right. That's right. And that's always the best thing to do, Arvin, is just to show it, right? Let your work speak for itself.
Yeah, and also I don't like arguing with that, because what really matters is that I believe in myself and what are my capabilities are, and then keep on doing what I know, and then working so hard to achieve that without listening to the doubters, and also just making the doubters proud.
Yes. And they will be proud because they are watching you, but
Yes.
they don't want to give you your props, right?
Yeah.
They're watching from afar and going, "Oh my God, I didn't believe he could really do that."
Right. Yeah.
And in a way, that can be an inspiration to them
Right.
because they saw, "Hey, Arvin did this thing that I thought was impossible. Maybe I could go try to do it too." Even if it's to compete with you,
Yeah.
it's inspiring them in that way.
Yeah, that's correct. Actually, coach, they reach out to me and they're like they're really sorry, and they told me like, "I'm sorry, Arvin. I underestimated you. I should have done that. I should have done that." And now that I see your capabilities and your achievements are, I'm like, I admit that I envy you, and now that I want to let go of that feeling, I want to
Yes.
be friend with you. And now,
Yes.
and now, coach, we're communicating now. I'm giving them also advice. What to do.
Yes, there's no need to feel kind of hatred against them because they're doing that. You just do your thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm similar in that way. I just let all my work speak for itself. If I'm good, it will come through. Someone will recommend me and say that I'm good. If I'm not, then my business won't prosper
Correct.
because you don't have a business that's based on, we have different levers when you're an entrepreneur, right? So you have to be good all the time.
Correct.
Like you can't mess up one time, especially with one client. You can, but bad information gets passed around more than good information.
Correct.
So you always try to do that. So, Arvin, how are you sharing the knowledge with others? You just mentioned that you're giving advice to the naysayers as well. How are you getting that knowledge out there and inspiring, like you've inspired your siblings? How do you inspire others young? I can't even say younger because you are young. You are at that age, but how are you getting that out?
Inspiring them, by showing that you can do more in life. I'm also inspiring them to achieve, but not the same that I'm doing. That I'm always feeling like running out of time. But I actually overcome with that. I just take success one step at a time rather than
Yes.
running out of time. And I also always share my knowledge and my for free. Whenever someone asks me or for an advice, I share everything that what I did, and through also Aide Solutions, I also share my knowledge with digital marketing and information technology stuff to my fellow colleagues before from the previous company that I'm in, and also especially my friends and my family. Even though they don't understand what I'm actually sharing to them, like about the digital marketing stuff, I have a client to interview with and stuff like that. And
They
I'm
have
like,
no clue what you're talking about.
they don't have clue, but they are always excited. Before when I'm working with you, my little bro is always beside me, listening. Like, bro, how do you do that? And he's like, I'm gonna sit here to listen and to observe how you do that because maybe someday I work just like you. And then
Yes.
same as my sister. This pandemic, she lost her job, and she think about like, what if I work just like what you are working right now? That's why little by little I'm sharing my knowledge to them, how it's done, and what should be the trainings or courses that they can take to do the same.
Right.
But
Right.
I'm not, yeah, but I'm always telling them that continue of what's your dream of in life and achieve that. This is my dream to become a digital marketer, and because I found happiness and joy in digital marketing, and this is what I do, and this is what inspires you. But always follow your heart. And same as my friends coach, starting that I have the Aide Solutions, and starting from owning a property, owning a land, owning becoming a breadwinner as an early age. I actually became a breadwinner age of 19 years old. So they're
That's
like,
pretty young.
yeah, and actually they are older than me, but they always ask me for an advice. Like, I am the go-to person.
Yes. And that's in a family that's different because usually the eldest person is the one who takes on all the responsibility. But I find in this world today, that's no longer the case. It's the one who picks up the reins and is going full force at something and is making the most success. So the older swan doesn't have to be the one to be the most successful. That's similar in my family, right? I'm more of a take charge person and a go getter, and my siblings have a different personality. They like working for other people and going to work and getting a paycheck, and I like to make my own money, right? And it doesn't limit you to one thing. You can be multiple things. And so that's why I enjoy that. So Arvin, it's great to hear about all that you've been doing. But did anyone inspire you to do this? Did you look at someone and say, hey, that person did that? It could be even, I don't know, a celebrity or just a regular person who you've seen do these kind of things.
First of all, I'm gonna share something. Even though I'm a guy, I'm a man. I'm actually advocate of women empowerment, and I'm always inspired by women. And just like I'm very inspired by two persons actually. Throughout 2020 and 2021, and I think it's gonna be forever. And it's Grace Lever, which is the owner of the company that I've worked before, the Outsource Doers, and Sandi Webster LLC that I've been working before. Creating the stuff, about and applying digital marketing on her business. It's such a great inspiration for me because Grace Lever taught me that not to settle for less, not to
Mm-hmm.
become an employee forever. She has
Yes.
also inspired me to create your own personal brand and to create your company. To start networking and to show to the world that share your knowledge about stuff and what you're good at, and that you only live once. You're gonna have to create an impact and inspire also others. And such a great woman. And also, I'm also very, very, very inspired by Sandi Webster, which is you, coach, by the because you taught me a lot of things. You taught me a lot of creating a vision board, which is such a great, great a key for me to achieve more. That's why I'm telling you now that when I created a vision board for the first time this year, 2021, there's a lot on that list. And most of that list, not most, but all of that list is already achieved earlier this November.
Congratulations. Congratulations. What are some of the things that you had on your vision board?
Yes. So actually, there are things in my vision board for this 2021 that I think I might achieve it for the next 5 years. But I never realized that I can achieve it this year, which is first is the house, because it's hard to get a house on the country, which is it's very expensive, especially the real estate.
Yes.
The real estates right now are increasing in prices of the property. But by God's grace, I got one, and
That's all you need is the first one.
yes, and also, coach, it's also a challenge for me because I always wanted a big lot where my dogs can run freely, and my visitors, can
Yes.
can chill out, and that is also one of the first of the challenge that I accomplished. And
Congratulations. Here where I live in Brooklyn,
Mhm.
I don't want a corner lot because we have snow to clean.
Yeah,
And a corner lot has more snow to clean,
right.
like all the way around, and we're like, oh no, we don't want a corner lot. It does have more land. I totally understand
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's different here because we only have sun and rain.
And when
Sun
it rains on everyone.
yeah. It rains on everyone,
Yes.
Equality. Equality. There's equality in here.
Yes, and sunshine and rain. So yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Correct.
that's great. What else was on your vision board?
Yeah. And also I never thought that I will be creating my company, which is called Aide Solutions. I thought that I would just gonna work hard, working 9 to 5, or working extra just to save more money. And I never expected that, to get to the point where I should, create my own company, and and do more and help other
So where
people the
where did
same.
you find the time, Arvin? Because you were working with me pretty full time, and you were on my day shift, but your night shift,
Yeah.
right? So where do you find the time to create this company?
Mm. Actually, for me, coach, there's no time that I'm following. Whenever my urges to get up, even though it's 3 a.m. in the morning, I'm gonna open my computer and work and grind. And even though I'm working with you at the whole night, there's if you want to make it happen, there's always a time. You know, and
You had another business too. You had an online business at one time. Is that still going?
yeah, for now, I on the online, it's actually a pet store, a pet supplies and accessories. So right now, it's not running online because I shifted to a physical store where I could hire people to manage the business, and then it's more profitable than online, coach. Mhm.
Ah, nice.
Mhm.
You're a regular entrepreneur now, Arvin. You're a serial business owner.
Yeah. Yes, and I'm also right now, coach. I'm actually working on a farm which is given to me, and which is also named that the title of the farm and the title of the land is for me. Which is I'm also working, to build a fish pond and to build a coconut, trees, and then other crops, to sell.
I want to be Arvin when I grow up.
No, Coach Sandy, it's I want to be Sandi Webster when I grow up.
We should all be ourselves and the best version of ourselves
Correct.
whenever we try to do things. I mean, it's nice to follow people, but you have your own twist that you'll put on it. So I know that.
Yeah, and I
So
would like to thank you, Coach, on this podcast because you help me a lot and you teach me a lot. You're such a true coach, and it's really, really an honor. I always thank God that I met you, and I had Sandy Webster in my life, and I become part of your
oh, that is
company.
so sweet. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I feel the same way because you took when I started and thought about doing my course, I had it all laid out and I had it, but the technology piece of it was just not clicking for me and it was just taking
Right.
a long time. Now, could I have taken the time to learn it? Yes, but it would have taken me way much longer. I think when you're looking at me going, I want to be like you, but you have a lot of more shortcuts that you can take to get to where I am. The biggest one is technology.
Yeah.
And back in the dark ages, when I started out, the technology was developing, right? It was just we didn't have a computer. We didn't have a personal computer
Mm-hmm.
when I started in my career. I started out as doing a secretarial job on a typewriter.
Mm-hmm.
And as I progressed, or as time moved on, and newer technology came in, which was like an electric typewriter, was a big improvement over the manual one. And then we had a word processor that came in where you could program the words like a letter. You would type in the letter, you'd program it, and then you could run a series of letters, like 50 of the same letters at the same time. Huge, huge improvement over having to type up individual letters to each person. And I can remember I had this job where we had to type up the statements that you get from your credit card.
Mm-hmm.
That was a job because every person had to get a statement. And I was working in retail where we had thousands of clients. You had to type up thousands of statements individually on a monthly basis, right? So having like a little thing like a word processor come in, huge improvement. And then when we got a computer, that's a huge leap, another big leap in technology that improves what you can do as a person. Now you're in the digital age. You're at the forefront of new and better and newer and better than before. And that
Right.
makes a difference in how fast you can succeed by understanding the technology. And you should do this with your siblings as well. Let them do little things for you. I'm just thinking back to them watching you and saying, they want to learn that. Give them
Mm-hmm.
little things to do.
Yeah.
Let them be your free labor.
Yes, I can do that actually.
If it's a little thing like, okay, Sandy needs to edit this podcast. I need to edit this podcast for my client, right? And if I'm your client, then my client needs this. We did this podcast like we're doing today, and it needs editing. So you can start showing them how to edit.
Right.
They might not have the school knowledge, the academic knowledge, but they'll start doing the hands-on of editing smaller things. And that way, by the time they get the academic knowledge, they can marry the two. But they don't have to stop to say, I have to go to school and do this. Give them the practical knowledge, and then they can acquire the rest. And I'm sure you have little tasks. If you break down the jobs you're probably doing now, you might have little tasks that you can give to them. If they're good at bookkeeping, let them put in your expenses every month.
Right.
Keep track of the book for you and start engaging them.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they show the aptitude for it, then run with it.
Right. That's a great, great idea. So that's another advice for me, Sunday. I'm gonna, I'm gonna imply that to the whole business.
They'll be sitting behind you and doing, Arvin, look in the camera.
Yeah, I remember something when I'm working, like I'm typing, and like my face is in front of the computer, and the same as my little bro. It's like his face is on the computer as well,
Oh,
like that. What are you doing? I wanna learn.
but these are things that you can teach.
Wow.
If you have a letter to write, maybe you can have them draft it and then you edit it. But this gets them in the way of knowing what you do and how to do it. And if they do it for you, they can go someplace else and do it for someone else, right?
Right, right,
This
right.
is the thing about skill sets. Once you learn a skill set, you can execute that across the board.
Hmm.
So you're not just teaching them how to do stuff for you. You're saying they can go work for Grace Lever. They can go work for another corporation that does communications because you taught them how to do all the microphone stuff.
Right.
Teach them documentation, which is a part of the process. Start teaching them that now. I
I
need you to
will.
help me with documenting so and so.
It's funny, coach, because while you're talking, I'm imagining stuff, and I want to do it after the podcast. I'm gonna
Yes,
you wanna learn this one, so I'm gonna have you something to work on.
yes, give them small accomplishable tasks
Yeah.
because if they fail at it, they're gonna, I don't want to do this anymore. This is too hard. So give them small things that you know it might take them a little time and give them a time frame in which to do it and say, I want you to start learning how to edit a podcast and these are the things you do. And then they can go edit their friends and edit stuff to put on social media and
Right.
just small simple things. So let them start doing that.
Yes, that makes sense, coach. I will do that. I will definitely do that.
It's called free labor.
Yes. It's a win-win situation. They help you, and I help them through, by teaching them to how to
Yes.
do work. Mhm.
Yes. I'm going to try to put my mother into free labor. Just to scan. I'm going to teach her how to scan things in because I have a
Yeah.
lot of paperwork to scan.
Right. And at least your mother will never be bored in the walking
Well, we're
time.
trying. I'm trying. She's bored now doing nothing. So this will give her some things to do. And she has her own printer now, so she can sit there and watch her soap operas and scan. But this is where you have to start and utilize the skill sets that other people have or can acquire, right?
Right. Correct. Yes.
So now that you're doing all these first, Arvin, does that make you bolder to go try new things, or are you still silently afraid of doing stuff?
Definitely, coach. Before, I'm actually afraid of, getting out of my comfort zone. I'm just gonna stay as, just a regular employee. Just wanna save money, and I think I'm okay with this and that. And now when I started, venturing out, when I achieved a milestone, which is to start a business, a small business, and start a company, and I'm like, this is not impossible to do. I'm actually limitless. I just realized that I'm capable of big things, and I just realized that we're given a life where it's just a canvas. It's for you to color the canvas or to put up pictures on that canvas. So I always look for the bigger things in the future. I'm not just looking forward to make the company grow or to help more people, but I'm also looking forward to venture out on other things that help more other people, especially people who really needs a job to land for a better job for their
Yeah.
family in the future. Because I've been there and I know their situations are, and I wanna help them through the company and through my ventures that I've been doing. So for now, coach, my heart and my mind is ready for bigger things, and I'm ready to make everything happen and to make everything go and grow big.
Yes, yes, Arvin. That's the way forward. Just keep pressing and one little step at a time.
One
I
step
re-
at a time. There's no
yes,
need to rush.
yes. And I
Um,
remember my grandparents used to say that they used to marvel at things, right? Because in their mind, technology is in their lifetime, they've gone from seeing a small thing, not even a typewriter. You had to write with your hand and a pen.
Right.
When they were young, there was no such thing as a typewriter. I'm talking about a typewriter, but that was technology to them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. A pen is a technology.
And so they've seen that because they lived in that world. And now they see you using a computer and
Yeah.
speaking, not only speaking, but looking at someone across the world. Like this right here was not possible several years ago. There was
Right.
no Zoom. There was no anything similar where it married both the visual and the audio, right? You could do Skype. And at that time, when I started with Skype, there was no visual, no video side. You could just Skype a person. But now to see their great grandchildren and great great grandchildren are speaking to people across the world as a part of their everyday lives.
Right.
It's awesome to them. Can you imagine that? I remember they used to say, wow, they put a man on the moon. And today we take it for granted.
Right.
And I watch Richard Branson and all these guys sending people up all the time now into space, which is X number of miles out, right? And orbiting and coming back and reusing a shuttle where before a shuttle was one time, you'd spend billions of dollars and it's one time. So the world is progressing and we have to keep up with it because we'll be left behind.
Right.
So this question to you about being bolder and being courageous and trying new things is not just for you. It's for everyone, every one of us who are living in this day and time.
Mm-hmm.
Need to embrace that because if you don't, you'll be left behind.
Correct. Correct. And I also believe that there are a lot of people out there who's also like me who need someone just to push them to do more in life also.
Yes.
Become an inspiration and a role model for them also to, to achieve the things that they really want in life and not to be stagnant and stuck because they feel that it's not worth trying for.
Arvin, you are in a great position right now. As a business owner, what I'm doing right now with my life is taking all my knowledge and monetizing it, right? So speaking, that's a way of making money. And I say that to you, Arvin, because you're in a place now to go out and talk about how to create your own business in the Philippines, right? How to start getting clients. You're in that position because you've done it and you're doing it.
Right.
You're in a position to talk about motivating others because you're doing that right now. And you spoke very eloquently about that a few minutes ago. So you're bought real estate. You can tell someone your age what they need to do to purchase real estate.
Yes.
So you're creating multiple streams of income for yourself, but there's another stream that you should think about, which is the speaking portion.
Right.
And it's great marketing for you too, but it's also sharing and giving back and speak for money. That's going to be my thing next year. I've given back so much, but I should start getting paid for some of this now, right? So you too can go speak to colleges or go speak to corporations and help them motivate their people. So I want you to think bigger this year on your vision board. I want you to have bigger, we call it BHAG moments, BHAG. And that's a big, hairy, audacious goal.
Yes.
Right?
Okay,
This
coach.
is something that you can't even conceive. If I wanted to send a man to the moon, next year I'm sending this man to the moon. And it's not even something people can conceive of, but you're taking incremental steps towards that. You know, I'm sure when Richard Branson probably sat and watched the moonwalk when he was a kid, and said, I would love to do that. And it's taken how many years, but incrementally, he built a platform where he could actually execute that. And so that's what we're doing, and that's what we need to start doing for ourselves and to help others as well.
Yes, and actually for me, 2021 is such a great learning year, great learning experiences, and such a year for preparations for 2022 and for greater stuff in this coming 2022.
Great. Well, thank you, Arvin. This has been wonderful. See how fast we're done?
Yes, I really enjoyed talking with you, coach. It's like I'm talking with I'm like talking with you heart to heart, and then I've learned a lot, and then every time you speak, I'm like, yes, yes, I want to do that. I'm like when you're just speaking, and when people listening to you, they're like out of their self. They're like their mind is running and imagining stuff that you're just telling. You're such a good speaker.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Arvin. And it's been great to see where you are with your business, all the different things you're doing with your life. I need to copy some of your stuff. I can't.
Of course, coach. You don't have to copy. I'm gonna give it to you wholeheartedly.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And it's been great having you on my podcast.
And thank you so much for inviting me, coach. It's just also a milestone which I didn't also expect that I can include it to my vision board.
Yeah.
Because I just know before that there's you will invite me to your podcast, but I didn't know that it's gonna happen this year. So this is also a such an honor, and I'm so happy. When I
And now you too can do a podcast.
right, but yeah, and you will be my first guest.
Okay. Yes, this is you just learned a new marketing channel that you can market your business to.
Yes, it's such a good feeling, coach. I really thank you for this.
Well, thank you, everyone. This has been Arvin Michael Cielo, and I love Arvin, and we can't wait to see what he's doing in the future. Thank you, Arvin.
Thank you so much, coach, and thank you so much, everyone.
This is Dr. Sandi. Thank you so much for sharing your journey on the first, where no two stories are alike, even if the circumstances are similar. Let this discussion serve as inspiration for others to show what's possible, and more importantly, to produce seconds and thirds.